was associated with the pianist. He had the church down to Olive Green, and it was implied or something there. I mean, and also he had written a check on the Harrises. On the Dicks that he wasn't supposed to. And I'll say they covered it up. But that might have been on his mind too. And the way I got it, he was in debt to different people for, of course, back there then, a few pennies, or a few, $5 meant an awful lot.
Right.
Well, he was also paid in chickens and...
Yeah, he sold Bibles, went around the country selling Bibles to make money. And he took, I'll say, chickens, or anything for payment. And
That doesn't pay the bills. It feeds you, but it doesn't pay the bills.
But he must have been from these two that I talked to, they said he was a great preacher.
And they had the funeral here, right?
Yes.
And there were so many people. I think Mom said that they were upstairs looking out the windows to
Well,
hear.
they took out the windows for the service.
Wow. Wow.
For people to hear, there's,
Huh.
from what I understood.
Wow.
And,
And he was married to Eva
yeah,
Dix,
Dix.
or
Dix.
Okay. Okay. And this was their homestead.
yes. Now, have you read the paper on his death?
Huh.
I don't know where it's at.
It's quite an article.
Yeah. And it's in the newspaper, and it is, it goes in detail on these, what I'm telling.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I would have thought they wouldn't have written that.
No, but they did.
Okay.
Back there then, why, it was new.
Well, that kind of didn't help, but
Oh,
our
no.
grandmother.
No.
Yeah, it was very difficult. And
Yeah.
she was an angry woman.
Yeah.
Because of it.
Mom, no.
It's your
I
life,
Her life had been difficult. Raising two boys, they were 4 and 8.
When he passed?
Yeah,
Holy
no, 4
cow.
and 2.
4 and 2.
I
There
think
was only
Dad-
2 years between them?
Yeah.
4 and 2.
Back in the 1800s?
Well, yeah.
Wow.
Dad was born in 1892.
Wow.
I think he died in 96.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that would have been like.
Oh, no.
Being
He's
here by
known-
yourself. And,
Yeah, but known all over the country. And then have this happen and live.
It was talking about in the newspaper there was 4 or 5 different ministers came to his funeral.
Oh, wow.
I didn't remember that.
I remember right there, but he had more written a suicide note.
Oh, he did.
I
I
didn't know
think
that.
so. I was thinking that. I think that's in the paper. I don't know. I'm telling it off the cuff. I'm making it up. But he,
Did they make copies of this?
I think so. think Joyce made some copies.
Okay, I don't know if I have one or not, but I was thinking that there was copies made.
Yeah, but he specified. I thought who he wanted to be and
Do the service?
do the service.
Huh.
And I don't know where that paper's at. Been so long since I read it. Wrote.
Well, it'd be nice for the second generation to.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
To read
Patty. Maybe Patty knows where it's at if she stops by tonight.
she probably got a copy. I mean, but talk about memory. I gotta give it Emily the credit. I mean, she's smart. She can remember.
She's a little Doris.
Yeah, I mean, as far as names and so on, she just gathers it up in her head and keeps it there. I gathered it up and
Promptly forget it.
what goes in one ear and out the other. That's right through. There's a
Wasn't that important, was it?
well. There are tubes running straight through, and it goes in and out.
You don't even have to tip your head, huh?
Oh, I know.
That's funny.
There were so many people there that they couldn't get underneath the tent. I mean, it had a tent revival, and there was many that had to, I mean, they couldn't get underneath the tent to hear him. I mean, good. But I was young and didn't know enough to ask anything because I didn't know really anything about him. But anyway, and another, I'll say about the same year or something, I was over on the streets of Ringo, and I don't know why I started talking to this old man, another one, and he asked who I was, and I told him father was Emery, and well, he said he knew Roddy, or Relly.
And that was your grandfather.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, he said he was a great preacher, but I didn't know enough to ask any details or anything. I mean, so he knew him well. I was, I'll say, dumbfounded, or I didn't know anything.
You don't know to ask any more questions
Well,
when
no,
you're that
I mean,
age. You're like, oh, you know my grandpa. Okay.
I mean, I just was.
Probably such a surprise, too.
Well, yeah, but there was I met two that had known him, and but at the time I didn't know anything. I went to ask.
On that beginning, St. Joe, Missouri.
St. Joe, Missouri, she was born. And Luella Bell was sick, and I believe died in Missouri. But it may not be so. She may have gone to her parents' house, and her dad brought her to his sister. What was her sister's name? There was Luella and Lucilia James. And it's Uncle Tommy and Lucilia James is who she lived with and was raised by. Teenager. She was
She
still
was
in
a teen.
school.
Okay, she was still in school.
Okay, what year was that?
That
Well-
would have been in about 45.
Yes.
Because you were at war.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was
44.
he was
might have
in-
been 44.
He was in
45.
Guam.
Okay, I was in Guam. 45.
So I was 10.
So you were 10. And Uncle Bill came up then?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they were living there. Oh, yes.
So
they
tell
was
the
living
story again about the everybody being sick.
there. Mom had tularemia. Somebody had shot a rabbit and brought it home. Mom was cleaning it, and it's the blood from the rabbit. And she
had
probably had a cut or something on her finger.
Yeah.
So it got in there.
Rabbit fever.
Then later, I went to the doctor with her because she got this bulge under her arm, right in through here someplace,
Probably.
lymph nodes. And it got bigger and bigger, and it was like this. It hung off of her arm like this. She couldn't put her arm down because it was so painful. And the doctor lanced it. I mean, just cut it just like this. And I don't know how many towels. It seemed like he just kept grabbing towels. And said it was tularemia. And so he started giving her all of these medications that she had to have. But it made her so weak while this was in her system that she could hardly move. She could hardly raise her arms. She was so tired. And Grandma was taking care of everything in the kitchen then. I can remember pulling the sled.
Was Bill on there at that time?
Had to be. And they was in your room now. They had that bedroom.
They were in the guest bedroom.
And Blake was a baby. And I came in and I did chores at the time. We had rabbits in the barn and rabbits behind the chicken house. And for the feed, and I was feeding something else. And the rabbits was in the barn in the first stall. A whole passel of rabbits, cages. And I can remember pulling the sled with the feed on it. And it was heavy, and snow up to your knees all over the place. And we're 10, and I was pulling the sled. And I laid down on it, and I thought, it'd be just so nice just to lay here. And so I got up and fed the rabbits again in the other part. And I come in, and Mom said, and Blake was crying on the floor. I'm not even sure he could crawl because he was just sitting there. And Mom says, if you'll pick him up and put him in my lap, I'll hold him. And so I picked Blake up and put him in Mom's lap, and he quieted. And she just told she didn't have any more energy than to just hold her.
And who else was sick at the same time?
Hilda, and I got bronchitis.
And then Hilda had what?
Quinsy.
Okay, and say that story about your dad getting up from the table.
We was all sitting at the table having dinner, and Hilda screamed. Terrible scream. And Dad jumped up from the table and was around us and in there where she was and picked her up because she was drowning in pus. And he leaned her over and it just flowed. And that was the beginning of her getting better. But it took Mom months and months and months. It was probably I'd say 6 or 8 months before
Before she got better.
she got better.
And she would have been about 52 if you were 10.
Yeah, 52, 53.
And how old is Uncle White? Are we not, and when was Uncle Bill there? They were living there,
He was gone.
but the kids were there.
Yes, Jane and Blake. Because Blake was a baby. And Blake
Well,
was not an easy sleeper.
Would he have been at war in 1945? He would have still been active duty or just getting
no,
out.
he would have been out.
Yeah.
'Cause that was
He
after
was
the
looking
war.
for a job.
See, that
Okay.
was after the war.
Okay.
I mean, the war had been,
It would have been that year. It would have been ended.
yeah.
1945.
It ended in,
When did they sign that? It was in Pearl. It was in,
the spring more, wasn't it?
yeah, it would have been the spring of 45.
I think.
So the winter of 45 is probably when everybody was sick. And Uncle
Oh,
Bill was
wait.
looking for
Oh,
work,
wait,
maybe.
let's see. No, yeah. The European War was off in 44, but Japan didn't surrender until 45. I think. I mean, if I remember,
Right, right. Spring of 45, but if Uncle Bill was looking for work, the family was staying with you guys in the winter of 45,
Right.
when everybody was sick.
Sounds about right. But you know, all during that time, I don't remember Jane.
You don't remember Jane?
they also called it.
Okay. They wouldn't let me in the barn. And they said, go down to Della's and have her call for the doctor. So I started to run across the yard and across this part.
No.
And the mailbox used to be over here on this side of the driveway. And I was running down there, and what's his name? The man that always brought the mail, Christinger, was there at the time, and he said, what's wrong? And I said, my dad's dead. And he drove over to this one, the other driveway, and I went to Mrs. Hilton's, and I come to the back door, and she said, what's wrong? And I said, my dad's dead. And she never touched me ever before, but she grabbed me like this and gave me a hug. And I don't know where I went from there, but she went to the phone. And I don't remember coming back home. I just remember the fire was going out in the living room. And he sent me out. By that time, Dad was in on the couch. And he sent me out to get coal oil to put on the fire, or to get it started again. And I went out and had the can, and I pushed it in so that this arm left. And I had my hand up here, and I knew my dad was dead. I knew you'd take care of the farm. Things would go along just the way they had been. I'd keep going to school, and everything would be okay. And here I was standing like this, and I looked in there, and there was no coal oil. I'm going to get scolded. So here I was pumping coal oil and took it in. And you were standing near the stove, and the doctor was in there, and he was ready to put a shot in his heart.
Yeah.
Back then?
A big long needle. And
More for looks than anything else, because he knew he was
Oh,
gone.
he had already passed and he knew he was passed?
Yeah, I'm sure.
did you carry him into the house?
I think Christopher and probably Chris and I
Okay.
don't, I don't remember now.
Okay.
I remember him being in the house afterwards.
Yeah.
I remember,
What's your version of how it went?
But I go down to Osborne's to call the doctor.
I don't know. I don't know where anybody was. I just know I was going to get scolded for not getting that coal oil in there.
Isn't that funny?
And then, there was a period of time I don't remember anything. And then Thelma and Marvin and their cousin Carl Cole was allowed to come up in the evenings, and we played games and stuff. And they never come up in the evening. Everybody stayed in their own house in the evening, but the three of them would come up like every evening and played. I don't know how long that lasted. Maybe it was one night, but it seemed like.
What do you remember, Uncle Don?
Of what?
That whole time.
My memory's pretty bad.
Did you find it? Did you find him or?
Oh yeah, I found him on the morning. But then I went in the house, told him, and I ran home, and that's about the time Christopher came. And I think we went up the barn and talked to him, and I don't remember Christopher being there.
Was it a Saturday?
I don't know.
It seems like it was a Saturday because Dad had been laying on the couch and Mom had that big wooden board and she was writing Christmas cards. This was December 18th, the morning. And he started to get up. And it didn't bother me that he was going to the kitchen. And he kept a cap in the dining room, didn't he? On a hook?
I think he did.
Just before you went into the kitchen. And Mom set the board down on the chair and followed him out there. And Grandma and Mom says, don't go out. Don't go out to the barn. And he was bound determined that he was going to go to the barn. And he didn't come back.
Was he sick that day?
Yes. Apparently now he was having pains.
Yeah. Well, he had heart trouble and kept nitroglycerin
Nitroglycerin?
and using.
One other time, all the fellas come in and ate lunch. There was harvesting or something in December. No, this was during the summer sometime, and all the men came in and had lunch, and Dad laid down on the couch, and the fellas went back out to work, and Dad stayed on the couch, which Dad was on the couch. That's where he was when he was in the house. So it was no big deal to me. I didn't know Daddy didn't lay down after that. And pretty soon, Charles Hilton and Hargis came in. He'd called from to come in. I don't know how they got there, but anyway, they was to come in, and I was to sit in the living room, quiet. And he was telling them what to do or what was supposed to happen or to verify what he was saying. And apparently he was having a heart attack then. Yeah. But this was something that was very alien to me. I had to sit right there with these farmers that I knew, but, you know, what did I know about farmers, neighbors coming in and sitting down? And, but apparently he was telling them then what to do and,
What he needed to have done.
yes, yeah,
I don't know.
That was in the summertime, you think?
yes, it was
Or maybe a fall harvest?
probably fall harvest.
And he died in December, correct?
Yeah. But I don't know how long before this, because he had heart trouble by the time I was conceived. Before.
I was thinking about 38. When he had heart
Was after I was
trouble.
born?
I was thinking about 38, 7 or 38 when he had heart trouble.
Okay, maybe. But he had it. He lived longer than he was expected to once he found out.
He had what they called hardening of the arteries at that time. What they called it.
You're looking sleepy, Penny.
I am. I'm
Tim's
getting tired.
working.
It's pushing 11, guys.
Okay. And he was a Christian Scientist and wouldn't go to the doctor. And he lived in Sparta in the second house from the corner. And Mom would go up and help take care of him. I don't know how long he did that, but
Say this. I mean, it comes up.
it's a root, isn't it?
Yeah. But it used to be up there along the creek. I mean, or the run from the road to Keaton's. I mean, that little,
Yeah.
I mean, where they it used to be the water runoff and so on. Used to be right around there.
I wonder if it's still there.
But
We never made our own mustard, but I sure pulled a lot.
They hand pulled
Handful of mustard out
the
of
mustard out of the crops.
Why?
get rid of it.
Yeah. So that the hay wasn't contaminated with mustard and stuff.
and thistles.
Mustard and mustard?
You know, the mustard seeds?
Yeah, is that where this come from?
I'm assuming so.
Huh.
The plants came up. Oh, they got big, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I pulled a lot of thistles too.
Owed a lot, not pulled.
Aunt Ruth saying I pulled it on. You might have hoed it.
Well, we pulled some too.
No, he didn't do much pulling.
With gloves?
Gloves.
I don't remember pulling, but I know I hoed.
When you was younger.
Well, how did you make the horseradish then?
You
Grind it,
grind it,
washed it, grind it.
and I mean you used the root and just ground it up, and it was strong.
Yeah, make the hair stand up on the back of your neck.
I don't know how whether they weakened it or not, heat. But it's strong.
What'd you use it for? To cook
What do
with?
you use
Mustard for it.
mustard for? What do you use?
This condiment just like
The horseradish, like on the meatloaf?
Yeah.
right.
I can remember.
I'm just used to horseradish
pork,
for
gravy.
shrimp sauce, and that's about the only time I ever eat. Well, I take that back. I put it on a pork loin.
I can remember them making ketchup.
What?
Ketchup,
How do you make ketchup?
tomatoes.
Tomato.
Well, yeah.
Cook them down. When the old house was back here, they had what they called the old kitchen. And did they cook it in there? Didn't they cook it in there?
I don't know.
I think he'll cook it on stove there.
Well, anyway, they'd can it and put it in things, and Dad or Grandma or somebody had a bottle capper, and it was in bottles, and you put it in there, and you put the cap in here, and push down that handle real hard, and it clamped it on top.
You remember when Dad made home brew?
Oh yeah, we got to cap all the beer. And we had to wash the bottle, so we got to drink whatever was left in the bottle.
Not back in, when it was
Prohibition.
outlawed. Yeah. Back in the 30s.
Ooh. You were making beer back in the 30s illegally? Ooh. Would you hide them in the basement?
Well,
We did keep them in the basement at night.
you know, I don't know.
They
Yeah.
didn't come around and check that often.
No,
Yeah.
no.
In the big cities they did.
Huh. So what did he use in his beer? Was it wheat? Was it wheat?
Corn
Might-
and
might have been
hops,
barley, I don't know.
yeast. I don't know. Yeah,
Well, you guys would have had to make your own yeast, wouldn't you have?
you can buy that.
Could you buy it back then?
You got a
But it was
start.
in cakes.
You got a start of it, didn't you? Then
Well, didn't you buy the yeast in cakes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's right.
Not like that.
Like Philadelphia cream cheese comes in.
Not
Right.
that big though.
No, not quite that large. But it was a rectangular container. But once you got that yeast started, you just transfer it and use it forever.
Did they use the same yeast for breads?
I think so.
I think so.
Grandma baked bread every. What day of the week was it?
I don't know, it was heavy. Hell,
Yeah.
just fine the first day, but after that, it was like lead. It wasn't nice and fluffy.
But the first day, or the first day, it would have raised, and she would make biscuits. And I can remember getting off the school bus, and I could have 2 biscuits, butter and sugar. Oh,
I bet you they didn't get that.
no, they probably didn't. But that's when Grandma made bread.
That's because they didn't get to ride a bus either, Mama.
Dawn did
When did it?
get to ride a bus to school.
Oh yeah. I lived at school.
Well, when did you have to take the bug and carriage?
Whenever I went to school one time with the horse and buggy. When Bill, my brother, drove the horse and buggy to school.
Yeah, I don't think I went one year.
One day.
No, 1 year, she said.
Oh, well, you want 1 year horse baby?
I think so.
Could be.
Yeah, I was born 23, so I was old enough to go to school.
I don't know.
In their days.
I don't know when Dad bought his first car. Don't have any idea. You remember the old touring car that he had?
The velvet seats,
Don't remember velvet seats, but I
green and
remember
black. Looked like a hearse.
the Eisenhower,
I think
Glass.
black.
Glass windows.
Uh-huh. I wonder when we got electricity.
Hmm?
When did we get electricity?
38.
38?
I think it was 38.
What did you do for ice back then before you got electricity?
Bought it.
How long would it last you?
We had ice boxes. Insulated boxes. You would they'd come around and sell blocks of ice out of 50-pound block, I think. And you can put it in the ice box.
They'd bring it around in a truck with straw. They pack it in straw.
Well, how long would it last in the refrigerator or the box or whatever?
Well, I tried to make it last a week. They come, I think, once a week.
Wow.
Now, of course, before then, before they had started taking around, why they didn't have ice. I mean, you saved your own ice. You know, I think I've got a ice chopper out here, and I've never seen one any other place.
Huh.
Probably 1800s?
I would say so.
I'll be darned.
It's a iron handled. I mean, the handle is about that long. Well, maybe all of it. And up here, well, I can show you. I think I'll show you. But it's about the head of it. We'll say is about that wide, with a handle in the middle, and it's got teeth like that on both sides.
But they're about this thick. The
Oh.
teeth start out this thick and then they go down.
And I think it was a nice pick crummy in there. And now they used to go out to these ponds and so on and cut the ice and put it in straw. I mean, what's that? A lot of a big area, and to keep it to sell it.
So after you got electricity, how long was it before you got a refrigerator that ran on electricity?
A long time.
I don't know.
I remember when we got the freezer. Dad got one.
No, Dad got the freezer. Did we have a refrigerator before that?
I can't remember a refrigerator. For
Where did you keep your milk and stuff cold and
In the basement.
in the basement?
In the basement, there's a well right out here. Underneath the porch here, there's a well, and that's where we got our drinking water.
And from the basement?
No,
No.
but there's a pipe going into the well,
Oh, okay.
and well, I had to have a
Have to
pipe
go
this
down.
way and down this way to get the water. But I had a pump down there, and down there you'll see a trough about this wide, and
Stone.
no, cement,
Cement.
but it's
Smooth like stone.
that, I mean, and it's about that deep, and you put water in it, and when you milk, why you took it down there to keep it from souring.
Wow.
Remember when they used to butcher
Oh yeah.
and they gut it and then bring the meat in here
Oh yeah.
and cut it up? And you get off that school bus, you would know that they were making
And then
sausage and stuff.
They'd hang the pigs
In the old kitchen?
downstairs in the basement.
Ew.
And they'd split them in half so that they're this way, so the eyes were looking at you this way.
Now see, at that time, they scalded it, to take the hair off. They scalded the chicken. I mean the
Pig.
pigs, and they the hair. You got scraped the hair off after they scalded it, and that. I mean, you had a rind. The skin was we call it a rind. That when you slice it off, why I always do it with. I mean, didn't like rind because it's hard, but. It was, they split the hog and then you went down and cut a piece off.
And then Grandma would want some canned goods from the basement. And the canned goods, as you went down here, and this whole thing up on a shelf was canned goods. And you had to jump. You had to come up a step.
Well,
It was a high step.
no,
really.
it wasn't. It's only about that high.
Well, for me, that's high. And you get up on that and reach up over there while this thing is watching you from here.
A gutted pig.
Well, yeah, but its eyes was toward you. And then you grab that thing and watch it so it's watching you, and you run up the stairs.
Did you ever do that, Aunt Ruth, or is it just the little baby of the family?
Yeah, I've gone to basement many times, but I guess
I never was afraid of the basement, I guess.
I wasn't afraid. It's because
I wasn't afraid of the basement, just the hog hanging there.
I had older sisters
Broke you in?
that yeah.
Hilda wouldn't go anyplace with me to save me from all these things.
Because she didn't like him either.
Yeah, but I was the little sister, you know? Grow up.
Is that what she'd say?
I don't remember whether she told me to grow up or not, but
It wasn't throw up.
no, it wasn't throw up.
Okay.
But the
Act
summers,
your age, and what we were 7.
and when we lived upstairs, went to bed upstairs, there was a black panther down there in that tree. You know about the panther. But he would come up into the bedrooms, and he was under the bed. So if I wanted to go to Grandma's room from there, because her light was on, I couldn't go because he was between me and Grandma's room. And I wasn't allowed to touch Hilda in the summer because it was so hot that I could just touch her arm, just a little. Don't! You're hot! So I'd get scared and I'd take that sheet and pull it right up here. No.
Well, you had a lot of.
I didn't know you had such a tough childhood.
I had a lot of brothers and sisters that loved me, and they liked to have me scared, I think.
I didn't know you was that sensitive.
Scaredy cat.
Or that much, had that much imagination.
But I was alone.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you was.
As ornery as Uncle Don is, I know you've blocked out a lot of memories of him being ornery. I know you tormented her. There's just no way you would not.
Hilda is the one that he tormented.
Really?
We was getting ready for school, I can remember. We was getting ready for school, and the mirror was in here in this room, where the pump was and everything, and she'd be fixing her hair. And Don would go, and she'd just infuriate her. Because she was fixing her hair. Mom, Don won't leave me alone.
I don't know where did she get all these stories.
That's the only year that I remember you going to school. That I don't know what grade you was in, but
Probably in the first grade.
No, she wasn't born.
no, I was in the first
I think
grade.
that's what you gave
Oh.
your imagination.
That's probably so.
Oh yeah. I'd think of these things.
Telling all these stories.
I think you stay awake at night making up these stories. Yeah.
So there wasn't nothing that spooked you on the farm, Aunt Ruth?
Sometimes at night. I guess it was in the wintertime because there was just a small path from the back door to the barn. And when I'd go up there, it was dark.
What'd you have to go to the barn at dark for?
Well, I'd forget to feed the sheep.
Oh yeah.
And I was strapped once. Dad
Oh, did
strapped
he?
me once.
Wow.
I got up, it was my turn to get the horses ready. Put the harnesses on. And we took turns, Sarah and I. And I got up that morning and washed and dressed to get ready for school, knowing it was my turn to go to the barn. And when Sarah told on me, because I didn't own up to it. I mean, I didn't lie. I just didn't tell.
Didn't do it.
And I got strapped, and I missed the bus, and I had to walk to school.
And this was over Bluefield?
No, this is Sparta.
This was Sparta.
Yeah,
Who you want, partner?
that's the only time. It's the only time I got smacked too.
This was a razor strap, the old-fashioned straight razor strap.
And it wasn't on the butt; it was on the legs.
Ow!
And it probably did it twice. I don't know. But that's the first and last time I ever got strapped. I got out as much as I could.
When Sarah wasn't there to tell
Let
on you.
Don do it. Let Sarah do it.
And I was told, and I don't remember this, that Sarah went back after the cows, or Sarah and Ruth, I don't know who, but they'd go back after the cows and take me, and Sarah would put me on the bull, and I'd ride the bull home.
I didn't think it was a bull. I thought it was
No,
a cow.
I think it was a cow.
Was it a cow?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they always came back in the lane.
And
Wasn't scary.
did you ride from here back to, do you remember when they had the cows the other side of, well, what was Hankins' or back there then it was,
Past the swamp.
yeah, that used to be, what's that? It used to be, who lived there? Who had four Hankins?
I remember Fuller's this way and Palmer's this way. I can't remember who had the farm attached or back here.
That was farther than I know.
And we used to walk through the woods to pick berries, and sometimes we get a half a cent, or a penny,
quart.
a penny a quart.
Where were the berries? These were wild berries?
It was a strawberry farm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And we picked strawberries, blackberries, raspberries,
Gooseberries. Did
gooseberries.
she have gooseberries?
Not on the farm. We had gooseberries back in our woods.
Okay.
I think when I started picking over there, I was pretty young, but I think they were paying 2 cents.
Well,
And for red raspberries, it was 3 cents.
yeah, but we didn't get to pick the red raspberries.
Oh, no, no.
Because Dorothy was the only got. She was
The
so
older ones
gentle.
was, got picked because they mash. And,
They
Yeah.
mash. You weren't gentle enough.
I suppose, then
Right.
or else they had seniority.
Well, now, did Elma and Bill also pick berries?
I think Elma did. I remember Elma and Dorothy and Sarah and I.
No, I mean Bill picked.
Bill did.
But he probably helped with it, had to help Dad.
Yeah.
No, because somebody said that Bill never made any money because as he picked, he would put the berry on top of the leaf so that it was pretty and red and it would ripen. So he could never get down the road enough to make any money or anything. So all 8 of us picked berries.
And we picked all 4 kinds.
And you picked for the family, or you picked to make
No.
money?
Money.
Make money.
Well, picked wild ones for us, but
From Maud Conway had the berry place.
Huh.
And they always liked Dorothy's the best because she made her quartz look so good because she put the best berries on top.
Well, now Hilda and I didn't go through the woods. We went up right here and across. Yeah, we could take the bicycles
Oh,
and we could ride most of the way down that road.
Yeah, there was a stile back there. We had to go over the stile to go over the fence. Because you ripped your pants if you didn't cross at the stile.
And what's the style?
a
It's a fence that goes over a fence. It's a ladder. It's a ladder.
We'll say a ladder like this to go up the fence.
You go up this ladder and over and down the other side, but it covers the fence.
Huh.
So you-
Like a step ladder. That went over the fence.
What is that thing that talks about a snow?
And song.
No, it's a rhyme.
Remember,
Something about over a style. Think about that. Radio.
I'm sure you guys probably were the first ones with the radio. That's probably why everybody was there.
Maybe.
Okay, whoops, crap. C O A
X
X.
I A L cable across
What year was it invented, or what year?
or U.S. to Europe.
Connected.
What year was coaxial cable? Not what year was
Connected
it connected?
to U.S. and Europe.
There should only have been one.
Whoop, not R R. Europe. EU
It would have been England,
for Europe. Well, wouldn't it still be Europe?
probably. But it was England
Yeah, we'll go
Because-
England. We'll go England.
because that's where Big Ben was.
Let's find out. Well, ask Google. Google knows.
And I was
Did
disappointed
you mean what year
because it
was
wasn't.
coaxial cable connector to the U.S. and England. Let's see here. Oh, I'll quit it. Is that what we want to ask it? The history of coaxial cable. Okay. He patented the first coaxial cable in England later that year in 1894. That's not right. Transatlantic communication.
Okay.
Okay. What they're saying.
The first transatlantic, right here.
Yeah, it was in 1858. Later, coaxial cable installed through the 1970s used transmitters in high band.
If you're remembering that, I will bet you anything. The reason why you're hearing the chimes on the bin was the end of the war. Did you have just the radio in the house? And
Just
not
the radio.
And no TV?
Oh,
no,
goodness,
when they
no.
did-
Okay.
When they TVs come in.
That wasn't even invented back then.
Because I'll bet you anything, it was to notify, if they already had the coaxial done,
They already had it done.
then it was about the end of the war. And you were hearing the chiming of the bells basically announcing the end of the war.
Telegraphical links between the UK and America had been in existence from the middle. Probably this once was a circuit, blah 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 blah, to carry 900 inland and transmitter circuits.
When did Big Ben first ring?
Now, hold on here. Chummer and Chummer exploit the political of coaxial cable technology. 3 home cable services date to the late 1940s.
And Ange, and I was there, and Doris and Don. I don't know if anybody else was there or not. But they closed the streets in Centerburg, and it was about time, and we was all just standing there. And they called a number. And of course there would be an alternate number if nobody. And so we was waiting and waiting, nobody. Doris says, Don, check your number. John, check your number. And they would call in it, a couple, 3 times.
You know, what's so funny is I can hear my mother saying that. Go ahead.
And he had the number. I don't even think he said anything. I don't remember he said anything. But I thought, he's got the number?
And
he got it.
TV?
And it was a little 10-inch, wasn't it?
9.
9-inch? Well, about
Yeah.
yay big.
Yeah.
And didn't get it that night. And when was it? The next week?
Probably.
The next week. Don was in the field or doing something, and here's this truck pulls up. Great big ladder over the top and tra-la-la-la-la. And Grandma was sitting there and says, Bertha, there's a truck out here. Probably need to know where they want to go. So Mom went to the door, and the man came, and he had some stuff over his shoulder and everything. He said, Don Harris live here? Yes. And he said, we've come with the TV. We're here to put the TV antenna up. And she said, antenna? Nobody told Mom and Grandma anything. And Mom didn't want to let him in. She didn't know what was going on here. So finally let him in, and they started doing the antenna. And Grandma, when it was in, I don't know when she first saw it, but she used to watch wrestling. She got so upset at those guys wrestling, and they'd slam down there, and if one you doing, get him. and she hated boxing and stuff, but wrestling really got to her.
But at the time, when I first got it, there was only, I think, one
Are
station
you taping this?
on, and it'd come on about 7 o'clock at night, and it was on till about 7 to 9 or something like that, or maybe 6 to 8, I don't remember. I think there was only one station the first time, and just within a month there was another one. There might have been 2 to start with, I don't know. But then finally became 3. And they were only on in the evening for 2 or 3 hours. And then
Earlier in the evening, started like 5.
yeah, I mean, it started increasing hours.
Howdy doody time.
And howdy doody.
And can't think of what some of the others.
Fran and,
No,
No, that one was later.
that was later.
We liked the Ed Sullivan Show.
yeah, but that didn't come till later.
Yeah, that's true.
Dave Moore was on.
Dagmar and Blondie.
Dave Moore was on the What Stuff show.
It was a night show.
Yeah. She wouldn't say anything.
She was a blonde and
Kind
Big
of buster,
boot.
big gal. But she was just there for show.
For the show.
oh yes.
Yeah.
But what was the name of the show? Or not name of the?
I don't know. I could always remember her name, but I don't remember the show.
That's really.
It was a talk show.
Yeah, it was a talk show.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was.
Aunt Ruth and Aunt Hilda were talking about that time. And they were talking about, I do believe, if I remember right, the show that you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of it.
Huh?